What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and Merry Christmas. Today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about Christmas, we're going to review a Christmas beer, and we have a very important question for you. So what are we drinking?
So we are gonna do a little taste test of the Corsendonk Christmas Ale out of Belgium.
So what to find a Christmas ale? We're trying to find a Christmas beer, and usually there's a number of Christmas beers. I mean, Mad Alpha's usually in the stores. There's a couple of Christmas beers that are around. Went to a handful of liquor stores, and when I say handful, probably 5. And this is the only Christmas beer I could find.
Huh.
So
I saw a couple today, but I just didn't grab another one because I knew you had this.
Did you see another one today? Yeah.
I saw a couple. Nothing more Christmassy than this. This is a winter ale. You know, this is an old style beer going way back to what we say? It was like 1398.
1398 like we saw this, yeah. Should be malty. Brown ale. Said lots of Munich. Munich is the same malt we used in our Oktoberfest that we brewed, so it should be nice and malty. Don't expect this type of beer, being a Belgian, to be hoppy.
Okay.
That would not be the style of a Belgian ale.
Smells good.
So what do you get? That's a tough one.
Smells like beer. No. You know what it smells like? Christmas beer. Alright.
Smells like Christmas. Definitely malty.
Definitely.
Very malty. So the hop they used in this is East Kent Golding, or Kent Golding probably for this time being. For this area would be Kent Goldings, and it's not I don't know. Hundreds of years ago, they used what they had. It's not like today where they could order a Pops, right?
Got a little bit of a smoky flavor to it, no?
I think it does a
Getting
little bit.
it on the back run.
Not hoppy, though. Not hoppy.
Malty, a little smoky. A little bit of like a Christmas spice almost. Not crazy, just a hint.
Does it have any nutmeg in it?
What you're getting, that extra, is probably more yeast character from the Belgian yeast. Because Belgian yeasts have a lot more character than, say, an American ale yeast, which is very clean. So usually some banana. I'm not getting any banana. If anything, I'd say it's smoky with some stone fruit. Then
it's supposed to have citrusy notes, but I don't
get the citrus.
I don't really get that.
I don't get the citrus really at all. And when we looked at it, it said citrus. But
it did. We looked it up. So this one's 8.1%. So it's a good strong beer. I think it had like 23 IBUs or something like that.
So not bitter. The other thing that's cool about this beer, and if you're looking for beer, you know, at your local liquor store, is this beer is bottle conditioned. So this beer wasn't.
You have to explain that.
Right. So this beer wasn't brewed and then carbonated and then put in the bottle. This beer was put in the bottle flat with some sugar added and left in there, and then the yeast ate the sugar and created the carbonation, the CO2. So this was actually put into the bottle flat and became carbonated that way. That's what bottle conditioned means. And there are lots of beers, even local stuff that you can find that's bottle conditioned.
Isn't that how you do yours?
I was gonna say that's
how
you do yours.
Right now, that's how you do homebrew. So when I do my homebrew, I add some sugar in at the time of bottling, and then the yeast that's left in the beer eats that sugar, and the byproduct of that is CO2, which then forces its way into the liquid because it has no place else to go.
Okay.
Science class.
Science class. As opposed to what's the opposite of that would be
Math?
Carbonating something in a keg.
My bad.
You would actually add CO2 into the keg, and being there's only a limited amount of space in a keg, it has no place else to go, so it goes into the liquid, and there you have carbonated beer. So, difference between bottle conditioned and, forced carbonated beer it would be.
This actually reminds me of a drink I used to have as a kid, believe it or not.
Yoo-hoo?
And I still do. No.
Malta beer as a kid in Puerto Rico?
Malta. I knew it was Malta.
Malta, India. It's very malty. It's got the same smoky, dark flavor to it. It's just this has alcohol. And if you get the right Malta, it actually does have alcohol in
This
it.
is pretty good as far as Christmas beers. I don't do a lot of Christmas beers. Like, probably the last Christmas beer I had was Mad Elf, which a lot of people probably know. I think you can get that all around the country.
This
I'm not a big fan of it. It's got a really strong, it's very boozy Mad Elf, and it just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Mad Elf.
And I don't mind drinking big beers. Recently, Austin had a Coquito beer that was 14%. And that was boozy, but I didn't feel it was 14% boozy. I mean, I've had 10% and 8% beers where you could taste the alcohol a lot.
It's a little smoother.
And some people like that. I don't like to taste the alcohol in a beer. So, and I know you don't like a lot of spices in your beer.
I don't like a lot of spices. I don't mind it being boozy.
Yeah.
I'm not a big, and that's what a lot of the Christmas ones have, a lot of
Right.
like spice in it, which I'm not into.
But I'm
like
not getting that here.
cinnamon.
I'm not getting it on this one.
Nope.
Like,
No.
I don't feel that anything was added to this beer. I think what you're getting is the
It
yeast.
smells good.
The Belgian yeast. The
It's
Belgian
mostly
yeast.
malty, smoky,
Yeah.
smooth.
And it's not a light beer. I mean, it's an 8%er, so it's nothing to shake a stick at.
As far as
It's good.
As
It's a
far as
good
Christmas
find.
sales go, I mean, I
Definitely
think it's pretty
spreading
good.
spreading some Christmas cheer for sure.
Yeah. And it's still to be Christmassy.
Yeah.
So, but very good.
It's out of Massachusetts, this one, huh?
Imported through Massachusetts.
St. Killian Importing Company.
Brewed in Belgium, though.
Okay.
And it's right up top. If you look, it says brewed and bottled in Belgium.
Yes, it does.
So, and historically,
Oh, yes, it does.
Belgians are, like the French with champagne. You can't make champagne outside of the Champagne Valley. There are Belgian beers that technically can't be made outside of the regions of Belgium that they're made in.
By the monks.
So, and by the monks, because it's a process that is hundreds of years old. So, and this monastery that actually started brewing this beer ran for a couple hundred years and then closed up and is now a hotel in Belgium. So, the monastery that this was brewed in the 1300s is still there. It's just a hotel. So that's pretty cool in itself. A little
Good history.
little history. And the fact that you're drinking something, one of the things I love about beer is we're drinking something that people drank a couple hundred years ago, and they were drinking good beer then. Christmas beer leads us to the Christmas holiday.
Christmas holiday, right around the corner.
So,
Next week.
it is.
Wow, already?
Might be this week by the time you see this video. So this week, a couple days, Christmas. All right?
True story.
Yep.
So I know we have our normal, family tradition kind of stuff. We usually go to, my wife's side for Christmas Eve, and then we'll do my family. I usually host at my house for Christmas Day, and we'll be sticking with that. A little bit altered this year, but for the most part, we'll be sticking to that. What do you guys got going on for Christmas this year? I know it's kind of a funky year with everything going on, so.
But we're at the end of the funky year.
We're at the end of the funky year.
That's something.
So everything's going to change in a couple weeks, right? Right? We're going to go back to normal.
I wish we could go back to normal.
What do you guys got planned?
Well, for me, it's going to be very different this year. It's as much as I love being with family and friends and stuff like that. It's one of those where I'm going to be held back a little bit. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to visit family because of COVID or because of the pandemic. And
Say those words.
why not?
Because of the
Why
situation.
Why can't you say those words? That's what's going
Because
on.
YouTube.
It is what's going on.
It's what's going on.
Demonetization. Messing with my money.
So due to the current situation,
Due to the current situation, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to spend time with family and and stuff. So, but it's all right because we are gonna have other means to be able to see each other that day. Like everybody's doing, we're gonna do a Zoom call and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a little different, but it's still gonna have the same joy that it brings, the same happiness that it brings to all of us. So can't wait. I'm like a kid at
Christmas
Christmas.
comes from the heart.
It does. It does.
Love Christmas.
It's my favorite holiday.
It is.
Did you, Jorge?
Head up North Jersey. Head up North Jersey. The South Jersey people, they cringe at North Jersey. So headed up to North Jersey to see my wife's family for a couple of days. I'll be having my family, at our house on Christmas Eve. So that's the plan. But I mean, it's a great holiday. It's I think people kind of get caught up and miss, what it's about, and it is really the biggest holiday on the Christian calendar.
Yes.
I mean, it is hands down. It is the biggest Christian holiday. I mean, Easter is obviously the other big one, but I think what Christmas symbolizes, what it's supposed to symbolize, if you don't lose sight of it all, is much bigger than even that. So
That's right.
it's a big deal. We usually, when we were in North Jersey, I think one of my favorite parts of Christmas Eve was, we would get together and obviously cook a dinner Christmas Eve, try and do some sort of fish, and then go to a candlelight service.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this year, obviously due to the situation, I think the candlelight service is one of those things that I'll probably miss,
Yes. So and us with our family, we go to church, for a Christmas Eve service every year, and this year will probably also be different. It's kind of become a headache because I'm at a big church, and they have to do a whole thing with reserving seats, almost kind of like you got to call and book your seats, and so we haven't been attending lately just because of that hassle. So we won't go this year, but normally it is all about the church service. We go do that before we go over to family for Christmas Eve and to eat and drink and hang out. So it is very much still about Jesus and the birth of Jesus for my family. And I know that's not everybody's thing, and not everybody cares about that. And for some people, it's a commercial holiday, but as far as my house goes, it's still a big deal, and that's the first priority. And then the presents and everything is just extra, but it's still the whole thing together. It's just a very happy time of year, family. That's the biggest thing. And this year we're scaled back. Austin's not going to get to see family. I'll still see some family, but I'm actually looking forward to just the quality time with my wife and kids, which actually normally we don't really get because we're on the go to this part of the family, that part of the family, and it'll be scaled back this year, so we will get to spend a little more time together and just kind of relax and breathe and enjoy it.
That's the one thing I am looking forward to, is actually be able to kind of sit back and relax. I've never had the chance to do that on Christmas. Really,
the holidays are tough.
So
they're stressful for they can be stressful for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, just the running that gets done, I think can be tough. But keep it in perspective and kind of roll with the family punches and do your thing. I mean, it's I think that's big.
It's also for me. I look forward to some time off from work. I usually I save a little bit of vacation time just to take some time off, during the week between Christmas and New Year's, and kind of get along some long weekends, 4 or 5 day weekend, and then a couple more days, with New Year's right behind that. So the time off from work just to do nothing and hang out and spend it with the family is something I look forward to.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I mean, I'm opposite. I usually, and this year is very different because the travel situation is very different. I usually try and work the time around Christmas because I work with typically a lot of younger people who have been placed in our region in New Jersey from other parts of the country who have to travel to see family or they won't see family. So a lot of us who are local and our family is here, we try to do that to
help others out.
To be selfless.
To try and
That's nice. That's very nice.
I mean, I don't know what it's like to live across the country from my family, so
yeah.
I imagine you know, if you're close to your family, that's got to be tough. For some people, it's probably an amazing thing. But
yeah, for me,
you know,
I mean, it was
but I've never had to do that, so I don't know what that's like, and you know, we're gonna kind of see people, you know, regardless.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, we're just kind of giving you guys a little glimpse of what we do, but go ahead and the messages below. Just let us know what you do for Christmas. You know, what your traditions are, and what you guys normally do for the holiday. We're interested to know. You know.
So wrapping up the year, bringing us to a winter, and it's interesting because, you know, last winter as a channel was our first winter, and it got cold. We were kind of scratching our heads. We were like, wow, what are we gonna do? And we had some motorcycle shows. You can check out our New York City motorcycle show video. We had the Atlantic City motorcycle show. You guys in January.
We went up to.
We did Asbury Park.
Asbury Park.
Met up with Nikki G.
Yeah.
There were a number of different things, you know, that we did that we're obviously not going to have this year. I mean, all these events have just canceled.
Yeah, they're not having any of those.
So if there is something that you would like to see from the Baggers and Brews channel, or if there's something you would like to see us do, drop that bomb in the comments.
Yeah, we are open to suggestions. I mean, we have a lot of ideas, but
we have a lot of ideas.
We do have a lot of ideas, but what do you
guys
guys want to see us do this winter? You know, what kind of videos would you like to have us make? We're gonna do some product reviews,
more beer.
We're gonna do a lot of beer stuff, which I know not everybody.
we gotta do the beer.
Not everybody's into our beer stuff, but we enjoy doing it, so we're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna do some Thirsty Thursday videos and try some beers and review some beers. You know what we do? We do a lot of breweries local to us, but we were thinking about this, and most of you guys can't drink those beers. So we're gonna try to do some beer reviews where we get some beers that are beers that can be had nationwide,
nationally available.
You know, so we'll get some of those. You know, and I'm not talking about the domestics, the buds and the Coors. We're not doing that.
No.
We're gonna find some good beers that you can get all across the country, and we're gonna review some of those. We're gonna do some product reviews from things that we've purchased for our bikes, whether, you know, either for the bike or clothing or things like that. We possibly might have an install or two, you know, this winter if we can make that happen. But we're open to suggestions of what you guys would like to see us put together and do for you guys. So whatever you got, whatever crazy ideas you got, let us know. I mean, we're not guaranteeing we're gonna do them, but we're open to ideas, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool to, you know, I mean, we've had, and what gave us this idea to think about asking is, we've had a couple of people leave already in comments of different videos, ideas for videos. So that was what I guess kind of struck me. It's like, hey, you know, maybe there's more of things that people want to see from us that we don't even, you know, haven't really even thought of.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, I think it'll be an interesting take, and it'll be good to see some feedback.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Any ideas? Just throw them down there. We're gonna read them. We'll respond, and we'll write them down, and we'll do them if we can.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's something that's not crazy.
And I guess it doesn't have to be beer and bike related too.
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean,
Think outside the box.
Think outside
Why
the
not?
box.
Yo, not that far outside. Not that far outside the box.
Come on.
Maybe just outside the box.
I don't even know. I don't even think they're doing the polar bear plunge this year, are they?
Nope.
They are not.
They're not.
Yep. Interesting. We had a comment on the polar bear plunge from one of the organizers of the event.
Yes, we did.
Who, you know, who was very happy to stumble across, you know, that video that was a real off the cuff video for us.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't really. I mean, obviously, it involved a lot of beer that day, but you know, there was.
Yeah.
You know,
That was a fun day.
It was a cold day.
It was cold.
It was.
Yeah.
You know, it was a cold day.
If you haven't seen that video, it's in here somewhere. Check it out. That was a good day.
Yep.
So
I didn't even get to see a tuned up Austin in that video.
maybe.
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 Oops. Maybe.
Maybe. So thank you for watching. Thank you for really for giving us an amazing year with this channel. A better year than we had even anticipated by even having. So thank you for that. And if you're stumbling across this channel for the first time, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, hit that thumbs up. You may or may not know this, but if you're watching small channels, that stuff means a lot to the channel and how the channel's promoted. So we appreciate that.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Deuces.
Feliz Navidad.
Hasta la vista.
Feliz Navidad.
Couldn't wrap up the. What, you only got 2 verses in you? You got 2 lines in you?
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y